Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Mawan coming to you with another lesson in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors as always goes to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the Archim out there, the brothers, the house of David that is pushing this word out there in truth and in sincerity, bringing forth the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Also, peace and blessings to the remnant of Israel destined for salvation, men, women, and children alike. So, there's a video going around about this topic I'm going to get into. I can't show this video because number one, it's disgusting. Number two, it would definitely be taken down and probably get my page, my channel, struck down. So, I can't show it. And you wouldn't want to really see it anyway. Because if you was to see it, it should anger you immensely. For many reasons. But let me just read this. So this is about this artist called Miriam Khan. And it says, Miriam Khan painting in Paris about war crimes in Ukraine. This draws controversy after being mistaken for pedophilia. Right? So, it says a painting by Swiss artist Miriam Khan went viral this past weekend after many on social media misconstrued it for an image of a sex act between a child and an adult. It says the work, titled Fuck Abstraction, was one of 200 on view in Khan's current exhibition at Paris Palais de Tokyo, one of her biggest shows to date. The survey followed her appearance in the Venice Biennale last summer. Khan's work has regularly offered images of violence that provoke discomfort in viewers, with past paintings graphically depicting rapes. Or maybe I should have said grape there, but I've said it already. Anyway, it's there in black and white, so it is what it is. It says that act as feminist critiques of the patriarchy, which is, feminist bullshit, and misuses of power. She has also centered wars in Bosnia, the Gulf, and elsewhere, often focusing her attention on people who are violated by those conflicts perpetrators. So basically, I'm going to try and explain the image without being too graphic. So you have an adult male dressed in somewhat well, look, it's going to say it here. So I'm not going to read that out. But if you read from the top there, that's basically the explanation. All right. So I'm going to move that along. You can pause that to read that. But I saw the picture, man. I saw the depiction. And it's disgusting, man. And it shows the world that we're living in now, that can even be allowed to be put up. Because they're trying to normalize this. This isn't about war crimes, man. Because what soldier in this so-called war between Russia and Ukraine is dressed up in that what they call bondage gear, right? What soldier's doing that, man? This is just depravity. This is just another excuse, another way for them to introduce and to normalize using their gradualism, right, into getting people to be on the side of this behavior. You have groups out there advocating for this now. You have people out there trying to tell you that you can't call these people pedophiles anymore, man. That you must call them other things. Politically correct names, man. The abusers of the young, man. They deserve nothing but the worst judgment, man. All right? But this in this devil's world, he's got you. He's got people believing, or he could eventually get people believing in that, man. You know. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to focus. I'm not going to dwell on this too much, man, because it's kind of sickening still. But let's just get some scriptures, man. And I urge anyone who's watching this to not bother to looking for this video or for the picture. It's not worth you seeing it. Titus 1, it says, "Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled." That woman's brain is defiled. In fact, let's just show you some of her artwork. So that's the wrong one. Where is it? Here it is. And here she is. So you know the devil we're talking about, man. This is the devil. She's just a female devil, man. A Shedamite, as we say sometimes. Here's one of her pieces right there. Look, you can tell there's something wrong in her spirit, man. This screams nothing but wickedness. It's like I shouldn't have showed that one. This screams nothing but wickedness, man. Hey, the scriptures talk about these Edomites, man. Viler than the... in fact, I might as well just get that and I'll stop talking, just get it. It's in Job, I can't remember. Let's just do this. Oh, Job 30, of course, yeah. Right, Job 30 and 1, it says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock," because they're animals, man. It says, "Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste." There's the pictures depicting this, man. Pictures depicting Israelites casting out hairy forest dwelling Edomites, man. Filthy looking Edomites. Paintings depicting this. It says, "Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat." Wild, living in the wild, just like they like to do now. It's in their spirit. That's why they go out into the woods. And listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going out into the wild, into nature, and enjoying nature, man. Camping and all that stuff. If that's your thing, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's in Esau's nature, man. All right. That's why he does that more than everybody else. It says, "Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief," because they're wicked. They get driven out, man, for their nasty ways. "To dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks." Hence the reason why when you see these so-called documentaries talking about cavemen, Neanderthals and that, it's always depicted as Esau, the so-called white man, being that, man, because we weren't doing that. And I used to think to myself, how comes they're always showing it? It's always white people. This is before the truth. When I was younger, in fact, it's always white people that they're showing. But now it's fully understandable, man, because it was them. It was them and only them living like that. So it says, "To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth." See that word, viler.
Strong's H 5217. Nacha.
Well, it says here to strike, scourge, smite. Let's get see if we can get another. that. Let's just go to the dictionary real quick. Maybe later, or maybe never. It says morally despicable or abhorrent, physically repulsive, of little worth or account, tending to degrade, disgustingly or utterly bad. Now, isn't that what we read about in that depiction, that painting? Isn't that what that is? All those things? That's them, man. They are the most depraved people on the face of the earth, man. It says they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. So let's move on. It's like a. I start John 3:17. It says, "For Yahweh sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." And that world is the world of Israel, man. All right, Yasha Alam and the Israelites. All right, the princes of the power. It says, "He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." Right? "For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved." Right? So there's no light in these people, man. There's no light in Esau. How? Imagine that you have a whole institution that allowed that picture to be put up in the first place. What did they think people was going to say when they saw that, man? You, no matter what you believe or what you try to explain it away, how you try to explain it, if someone that was of the nature of doing those heinous acts, right, they're going to look at that and find pleasure in that picture. So you can't put something up there and pretend like, oh, I'm trying to depict the wickedness of the world. No, you've shown something in its truth, in its most truest form. And there are people that are going to find pleasure in that. And if you didn't know that, then you're either ignorant or or you knew it and you're just a liar. And I tend to believe it's the liar. You know, that she knew what she was doing when she painted that picture. Controversial and depraved at the same time. You know, it's wickedness, man. And you can see that's in her spirit, man. It's like that guy, don't know if anyone's into art or movies, man, but those alien movies, right? The guy that designed those creatures, man, his name is H.R. Geiger. And that man is pure satanic, right? His art is purely satanic art, man. That is how he managed to concoct those the designs for those creatures, man, because those creatures are demonic. Their actions are wicked. You know, they're just pure. You know, just killing machines, man. You know, if you ever get the chance, you know, to glance over, I wouldn't dwell on it, but glance over his artwork. It's very satanic, and it depicts, you know, he depicts Baphomet or Baphomet, however you say that his name or the name, right? In many of in much of his artwork, duality, he depicts all that. So he's very much a Satanist, man, and I believe this woman probably is as well. There's a lot of these artists like out there like that was it Marina Abramovich, that one that Jay-Z and Beyonce and Lady Gaga love to hang around, man, because they're all Satanists, man. Now this is the influence of Satan on this world, man. Jeremiah 17 and 9, it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, who can know it? And the heart, as I've said many times, is not your organ that pumps blood. That's not what it's talking about. Your heart that pumps blood cannot be deceitful or wicked, because it has a job to do in your body, and that's to pump your blood around and keep you moving. It's talking about the mind. That's why people say, "Well, I feel it in my heart." You're not feeling anything in your heart except it pumping the blood, man. The beat, right? It's your mind. Basically, the mind is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Why? Because it has the capacity to imagine wicked things, man. And so much so in this world. If you could go around the earth and see the most wicked acts that are being done, you would be so shocked and probably depressed at the world you're living in, man. People don't understand this. That's what people don't actually understand. How evil and how much evil is in this world. Beyond your comprehension, man. Because unless you see these things, you would never believe it. There are things out there that are happening that you would not believe until you see it. And this is why we need Yahweh Shai, man. We need this. We need cleansed mind, bodies, and spirits, man. And this earth needs cleansing from the defilement, man. In fact, let me get that. Let's make it easier on myself. Isaiah 24:5 says, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof." Right? So the earth, meaning not just the planet, but the people on it, the everything. Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. This earth is defiled, man, beyond belief, beyond belief. You know, Yahushua is itching, man, itching to come back and destroy this place. And so we itching for that, man. It's necessary. Jude 1:7, and I'll close out. And it's even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh. Is that not strange flesh doing that? You know, there's a group called what's it called again? I think it's called uh, what's it called again? Oh, NAMBLA. I believe it's called NAMBLA, and it's the National Association. No, the National something to do with boy love anyway. So basically, it's a pedophilic organization created to push forth the agenda of relationships between adult men and juvenile boys, man. So that's the depths of depravity this world is, and it's a registered organization, man. This world needs to be destroyed, man. It says, I'll read that again anyway and close out. It says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. And that's what we're waiting for, man. The cleansing. That fire is a cleansing agent, man. No more of this. This is good. We're reaching the pinnacle of wickedness out here, man. It's peaking. And it just tells you what one thing, that Yahweh Shai is on his way, man. So anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying. Yeah, I pray that it was, as always. And I'll say shalom to the next one. Kal halal Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Kakodash. Yeah, and shalom.